show, we combat uni stress and anxiety. Supermarkets around Australia are putting up a fight against plastic bags and negative environmental practices. We talk about safety on campus, and Paula hits us with some hot movie reviews. My name's Ashley Dryhurst.
And I'm Raquel Martins, and we're coming to you live from LTYou Radio at La Trobe University.
So what's happening in the news today?
Adelaide Archbishop Philip Edward Wilson has been found guilty of concealing child sexual abuse allegations against another priest after a landmark hearing in Newcastle local court. Archbishop Wilson, who is the most senior Catholic cleric to be charged with failing to report child sexual abuse to police, showed no emotion as Magistrate Robert Stone delivered his lengthy judgment on Tuesday in front of a packed courtroom. It is a decision that could have wide-reaching implications for other high-ranking clergy members. One Nation leader, Pauline Hanson, has dealt a blow to the federal government by effectively withdrawing her party's support for the coalition's company tax cuts. Senator Hanson struck a deal with the coalition in March to support the tax cuts in exchange for an apprenticeship pilot program for young Australians. But the One Nation leader, who controls 3 votes in the Senate, says no money has been put aside for the program. A hand grenade has been used to target a notorious family in a troubling escalation of gang violence in Melbourne's northwest. It is the first time a hand grenade explosion has been investigated in the state's history. Victoria Police believe, underlining the fears of senior officers, that underworld figures are increasingly accessing military-grade weapons. Former Perth student Henry Van Breda has been found guilty of murdering his parents and brother with an axe in South Africa in 2015. Van Breda's parents, Martin and Teresa, and his brother Rudy were found dead at the family's mansion in Stellenbosch on January 27, 2015. Facing the Western Cape High Court in Cape Town, Van Breda, 23, was found guilty of the attempted murder of his sister Marley, then aged 16, and an additional charge of obstructing justice. Survivors of London's deadly Grenfell Tower fire have wept as they listened to a bereaved father pay tribute to his baby son and heard a recording of another victim making his last phone call from the burning building. Those were among many heartbreaking moments on the first day of oral hearings at a public inquiry into the blaze, which killed 71 people in the social housing block on the night of June 14, 2017. There's a lot going on in the news today, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. The tragedy of the tower kind of messed up.
It is. It's really sad to that something like that in today's day and age can still happen. You'd think there'd be building regulations and things like that would stop fires like that happening and stop fires spreading. But it's, I guess, people are talking about how this hearing was happening at about the same time as the royal wedding was occurring. So it's a bit of a,
It's kind of just like tucked underneath.
Yeah, it's, such a happy moment with the royal wedding, but then you've got all these people who are, still suffering and still really haven't had any justice after that fire. I think there was something like $50 million spent on the royal wedding, which is a lot of money.
Yeah,
which I believe there's people who are still, they're hoping to be paid for what's happened with the fires. So with all that money being spent on the wedding, you'd hope that these victims would at least get something to, say sorry for what's happened and to compensate them, I guess. The hand grenade. That's the first time that it's been investigated in the state's history.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. I mean, if it's so difficult to get hold of guns in Australia,
then
to get a grenade and attack someone with a grenade.
It is, I guess, a bit of a worry that they're getting more easy access to military-grade weapons and that sort of thing now. Hopefully it's something they can... The gang violence is something that I guess they've had under control. We haven't seen a lot of it in the media lately, but we do every now and again, I guess, get some of it creep up on us. So we are getting close to the end of semester. Thank goodness. Almost time for holidays.
Yeah, right.
We're about 1.5 weeks away from a long-awaited break from the uni. uni semester. Unfortunately, this also means we're 1.5 weeks away from exams and final assignment submissions. So it's a crazy time for university students, and there is nothing worse than the build-up of stress and anxiety during these last few weeks. It's important to find a way to relax, take a breather, and make sure we have the energy to finish off the semester. Here at LTYou, the Student Union understand this well, and we have Abood here to tell us all about Stress Less Week. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
That's okay. So tell us a bit more about Stress Less Week.
So Stress Less Week is a week that the union organises every single semester. We've done it for a couple of years now. And it's just a week of different activities, fun activities, free food, just a way for people to kind of relax and enjoy it before they get into studying and exams.
Beautiful. Free food sounds good. Free food's always a good way to
Free
de-stress.
food's always great.
So what sorts of programs and events are you running each day?
So yesterday we had our vegan schnitzel barbecue. Today we have our barbecue, which is happening right now in the Agora next to the library. And tomorrow we have our big day, which is our well-being carnival. So we have a whole bunch of activities. We have like an obstacle course, bubble soccer, giant Jenga. There are food trucks coming down, live music, and about 15 or 16 clubs will be down there as well.
Beautiful.
And counselling is also coming down, so
that'll be fantastic.
Great.
Last semester you had the petting zoo. Is the petting zoo going to be there again?
The petting zoo is unfortunately not going to be there.
No.
Petting zoos are the best.
Right? The little bunnies.
I know. Have you played bubble soccer before?
I have not played bubble soccer before, but I'm very excited to play it.
Is that the one with the big...
Yeah, you have the big bubbles on you. And
that'd be so cool.
I really want to play it, but at the same time I'm kind of scared to play it because I feel like I'd just injure myself.
But isn't that like half the point?
Yeah, I think so. You're in a big bubble, so you're well protected.
I'm very excited to try it.
It's going to be so much fun.
Absolutely.
Why does the Student Union think it's so important for the students at LTYou and students all over Australia in universities and in schools to take some time out and to make sure they're stressing less?
Well, I think it's important, especially just before we get into kind of the stressful season that is exams, to take a moment and just enjoy yourself, just kind of relax right before you have to kind of study really hard, study really for very long hours. I know a lot of people who spend a lot of time in the library. So it's just really important and especially for people's mental health, just to kind of take a step back and be able to relax before you get into all of it.
Definitely. And what are your go-to, what are the go-tos for you to de-stress yourself? What helps you?
Other than Netflix and coffee, well, I do just like to just be with friends and not worry about anything, like, especially being in the student union, and it can be stressful at times, just taking a time where you don't have to worry about anything else.
Definitely. So will there be movies and things like that people can come and watch of an evening or?
Yep. So Thursday we have yoga in the morning, which I'm really looking forward to. And then we have a movie night at night as well.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Yoga will be great.
How many people do you expect to show up for the yoga?
Well, we are expecting around 20-something people. And we're really hoping to do it outdoors if it's not raining.
Ooh, that'll
On
be
the
nice.
grass?
Yes, on the grass if it's not raining. So fingers crossed it's not raining.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yoga in the fresh air. Oh, that'd be beautiful.
We'll try and promote it. We'll get more people to go. Make
Absolutely.
How can people find out where exactly these events will be taking place?
So we have our posters up at the moment all around the Agora, just outside the Agora. They're also up on our LTYou page, so LTYou Student Union website, and on our Facebook page, and on the Welfare Department page as well.
Beautiful. And which day of activities are you most looking forward to?
Wednesday, because there's an obstacle course. So I'm very excited for the obstacle course.
Is it going to be raining tomorrow?
I'm not sure.
Well, it says it's not going to be raining. It says it's going to be cloudy. So I hope it stays that way.
But it's like those mud races where people just get ruined in mud. I think people would be okay with that.
So it's like a massive inflatable kind of obstacle course. So it won't be in the mud, but
if it's wet, it won't matter.
If it's wet, it's,
It just becomes a giant slippery slide.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Abood. We
Really
appreciate
appreciate
what you're doing, and of course for putting on Stress Less Week. As fellow students, we can say that it's good to have someone looking out for us during these last few weeks of the semester. Coles and Woolworths, as of next month, will be rolling out a ban of all plastic shopping bags. This follows the push for supermarkets to reduce plastic waste in order to help out the environment.
After intense lobbying from environment groups, Woolworths and Coles across Victoria have announced that they will soon put a ban on plastic bags, with the aim to reduce plastic waste. Approximately 700 million single-use plastic bags are being used by the people in Victoria each year, with up to 16 million entering the environment. The CSIRO estimate that globally roughly 1 million seabirds and over 100,000 marine animals die each year due to the plastic debris in our oceans. Coles and Woolies will begin to fade out plastic bags from the next month, which means that customers will have to bring their own reusable bags or they will have to buy them in stores. So while the regular plastic bags used out the front of the store will be banned next month, the other plastic bags used for packaging fruits and vegetables as well as a deli will still be available. I'll be very interested to see how the customers respond and whether they will back this plan, says Independent Retailers Chief Executive Joss de Bruin.
So what's happening? They're getting rid of all plastic bags, are they?
Yeah. So you won't be able to use those anymore?
Oh, really? So I have to start using the reusable ones?
Yeah.
Is that because, like, you find plastic bags everywhere, all over the ground and, like, at the beach and stuff like that?
So I really don't think we need them anymore, but it's not even that we needed them in the first place. There's always other alternatives, so it's good that they're doing this.
How do you think that shoppers will react to this?
Oh, look, I think most people will be on board. Most people use the reusable bags anyway at this point. It's probably just those odd occasions where you have to duck in and get something and you don't have a bag on you, so you have to use one of these guys.
Do you think it will be worth it for us in the long run?
Sure. Anything that's environmentally friendly is worth it in the long run, isn't it?
I think it's inconvenient. Plastic bags don't harm the environment at all. They break down very quickly. I don't know why people say it takes millions of years. I've seen plastic bags that have been in the dirt for a couple of weeks and they already start to break down. So I think it's all a big myth. And I think the lefties are really just breaking balls again.
Paula Martinez reporting, LTYou.
Okay. Hi, girls. Do
Oh,
you
it's-
enjoy...
That was an interesting opinion there. It's a bit of a myth with the plastic bags.
Well, I kind of agree. They're biodegradable, the plastic bags. I think like the ones that you get from Aldi, like the thicker ones, they're the issue. But I mean, people hopefully reuse them.
Yeah, you'd hope so. I guess they make those ones so that they're a bit tougher and you can bring them with you next time you come and reuse that. But it is a really interesting debate, I guess, and a discussion that's going on at the moment with the plastic bags.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty. Like my partner works at Woolworths and she has customers like stealing thousands of these plastic bags just so they can have it after the ban happens.
The ban.
Okay.
Well, my mum works at Glenroy Specialist School, so she works with kids with disabilities, and they all bring in plastic bags to use for, putting nappies in and putting like waste in, and without those plastic bags, they're sort of talking about now, well, what are we going to use when they ban all the plastic bags and staff are no longer able to bring those in? It's going to be another really big cost for the school, and it's, equipment for the school and wheelchairs and things like that already super expensive. So adding that extra cost on top, because they're using plastic bags every day in the toileting and all that sort of thing. So it'll be interesting to see how it's going to affect. I mean, we've got a bag of plastic bags at home that we use.
That. Is that an investment?
Yeah.
Like, how long until we can sell that bag of bags for like $1,000?
I know I might be able to sell it off.
Yeah.
See how much money I can get for my bag.
Yeah,
of
I think that'll be
plastic
good.
bags. It'll be interesting to see how, once the rollout of the ban is complete at Woolies and Coles, it'll be interesting to see, how it starts to affect people. Because I guess the first few weeks people kind of just complain about it, but I think people will be okay. They'll get those fabric bags and all that sort of stuff. And Woolies and Coles already sell. Even Aldi, they've got those refrigerated bags and those sorts of things.
When you go shop at Aldi and there's no plastic bags and you don't want to spend 15 cents on one of those like reusable ones, like everybody just doesn't use plastic bags.
You just load it all into your boot.
Yeah, fully. I don't think it's going to be a huge impact.
Yeah. So safety on campus is very important, and today we have Andrew Hicks joining us on the desk to promote some of the services that La Trobe provide to help ensure safety for students. Welcome to the show, Andrew.
Thanks for having me.
That's okay. Thanks for coming. What measures have been taken at La Trobe to ensure the safety of our students?
of campus presence, obviously, with security officers, mobile patrols, foot patrols, all the car parks, obviously with vehicles and that being such a large campus itself. In addition to that, we have our control room, CCTV cameras, approximately 750 cameras just at the Bundoora campus, and an extra 200 to 300 with our regionals added up. So it's well over 1,000 cameras that covers all of the Latrobe regionals and the main one here. So it's a lot of looking after.
That's crazy. And there's also a uni escort service. I believe I've heard a little bit about this. Can you tell us a bit more about what
it's called the glider bus, and the glider bus runs, I think, starts around 9:30 of a morning, goes till about 9:30 at night. No, the night shift, beg your pardon, I tell that. 9:30 till about 2 o'clock, I think, from memory. After 2 o'clock, if the students are stuck at, say, Plenty Road, or they can contact the security control room. We can dispatch an officer, and we can come and collect them and take them back to the campus if they feel a little bit vulnerable or for whatever reason.
Really
That's
awesome.
fantastic. That's
amazing.
a really good service to have.
So we do look after them in that respect too, and I think they appreciate that.
Definitely. I know I definitely would if I was stuck up on Plenty Road and, didn't want to walk all the way through the uni and at night.
A lot of them finish work, say, late and catch the last tram back. So it's just that little bit extra that they do for the students here.
It's a fantastic service to have. What's prompted the need for this service?
Probably just over the course of time. We did have a similar sort of service prior to the glider. It was just a little mini bus seat, about 15 people, and that was driven by I actually did it myself for a few weekends. Just it was good. You'd get a call to say go to Chisholm College to take them up to Plenty Road, whatever. Half the time it's probably from Macca's, but that's fine. It's pass the time, you get something to talk to. But I think it's just word of mouth got round, and popularity-wise, and now it's sort of an essential service, so to speak. And like I said, given the size of the campus, it's to walk around it, you're looking at 3 or 4 kilometres.
Yeah.
Does it get used often?
It does. Yes. Yeah.
When's like the peak prime usage?
I would say afternoon, like normal peak hour time for 4 to 6 o'clock in the evening. Once it gets darker, it may get used, similar. Summer times it's not as much. A lot more people are out and about anyway, so they do feel a bit safer when it's daytime. It's still light at 8 o'clock in the evening, but after that, staff and students will call them from time to time.
Oh, fantastic. We went out and got some opinions from some of the students around campus, so we'll have a listen to those.
Sure.
Okay. Hi, girls. Do you, in general, feel safe on campus?
In general, yes. At night, I think it can be a bit creepy sometimes, but most of the time, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the car parks can kind of be a bit creepy, but on the university part of it, absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you know what measures has been taken to ensure that you feel safe on campus?
I know that the security guards are able to help you to your car any time of the day and night. So it's always, a measure to help us feel safe here.
I think most of what they've done is symbolic. I haven't seen any active measures to make us feel safer since the results of the inquiry came out last year.
So if I tell you, like, during the daytime, the glider bus can take you all around campus, and in nighttime you can actually call a security escort service that can take you from the library to the tram stop if you need. Is it something that you think would be helpful or useful?
It definitely.
Would it be something that you would use?
No, I think the idea is good, but I can't imagine being in a position where I'd kind of use either.
And you?
I feel like people would be too shy to use it. I don't feel like a lot of people would take up that service, even though it's a good initiative.
Thank you, girls.
I feel safe on campus because it's a safe environment. For me personally, I've never felt uncomfortable or threatened at uni before.
So as one of the girls mentioned in that package, the media have been reporting and documenting a lot of things about the sexual harassment and assault on university campuses. And the Australian Human Rights Commission released a report last year outlining that 1 in 5 students are sexually harassed in a number of university settings, including on campus grounds. Do you think these statistics relate to our campus here at La Trobe?
Well, in all honesty, I think we're quite a safe campus, and I don't think those numbers reflect on what might happen here at La Trobe. Yes, we do. Everyone has incidences, and being an open campus, it's anyone can come in at any given time. So, yeah, and hence I was listening to the girls before talking about that they wouldn't catch the glider. That's fair enough, but there are quite a lot of, especially girls that do feel that bit more vulnerable, that they will get that service.
Yeah. And what's the sort of process where can people find the number to call if they do need security to come out to them, and where can they find that information?
The general number for security is the 9479, and we just say that's a prefix, and then the extension 2012. So you can pick up any phone around the uni, buildings, levels, and it's got emergency phone on it. As long as you ring the last 4 numbers, 2012, you'll get the security control room, and from there we can dictate on who's available, who's close by, and send them to that job.
Beautiful. And have there been less incidents since the uni escort service began?
A little bit. Since the 9 years that I've been here for, we've probably doubled our number of cameras just on the Bundoora campus itself, which has helped a lot, especially in the car parks. There is also an ongoing lighting upgrade for different areas of the university. I noticed one of the girls before said, there's a lot of dark spots, and there is, and hence why they're concentrating on making it clear for everyone.
I guess that was one of the big things I noticed before I got my licence. I used to catch the bus, and down at the bus terminal before they did that big upgrade to it was super dark of an evening, and that was one thing for me that I was always kind of like, I'm gonna, just ring mum and talk to her while I wait for the bus, just because then at least she knows where I am if something happens. But that was something that once those lights came in, it was just, I felt really comfortable sitting
like
there.
daylight.
And it's super bright down there now. So
and with all the CCTV as well.
Definitely.
We've got ample coverage down
and
there.
And it's really good that a lot of those cameras are visible to the students, because you sort of know that, there's a camera watching, someone's watching, someone can see. So I'll be safe, which is really good. Do you think that the uni has become safer because of all the things that you've implemented?
Definitely. Yep. Yeah, CCTV stats showed that basically 10 years ago, after the cameras went in, there was an 80% reduction in thefts of vehicles and thefts from vehicles and different other incidents. So it does have its benefits.
Wow, 80%. That's a really big improvement.
Yep.
Yeah, huge.
Fantastic. So thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me
here. We have a small clip, a bit from your safety video with some contact details and some more information. So we'd love for you guys to get in touch. Don't forget, if you do need some assistance out in the car parks around the university, security is here to help us out. So don't be afraid to give them a call. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The Bundoora campus is a big place, and there's always a lot happening across all our campuses.
At night, lights will shine upon recommended travel paths. We strongly advise you make use of these paths, as well as our UniSafe escort service if you're travelling after dark at Albury Wodonga, Bendigo or Bundoora. We're just a call away. Phone 9479 2222.
If you have a minor accident, need first aid, or want to speak to security, call La Trobe Emergency on 9479 2222. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And if you need someone to talk to or have experienced unacceptable or concerning behaviour, you can contact our Speak Up team on 9479 8988.
We hope you've enjoyed this safety video.
Further information regarding safety and security is readily available online.
Now sit back, relax and enjoy your safe journey with La Trobe University.
Cabin crew cleared for takeoff.
Well, the past few weeks have been huge for superhero movie lovers. I'm yet to watch any of the movies that have come out, but I'm giving myself some time to watch them over the holidays, I think. We've had the release of the third Avengers film, Infinity War, as well as Ryan Reynolds' quirky Deadpool 2. I'm so excited to see that. And that's just exploded in the box office. We have Paula, our entertainment specialist.
Good afternoon, guys.
Here to give us a bit of a review of the two movies.
Sure am.
Tell us what you think.
Okay, so let's get started with Infinity War. I'm probably not the greatest person to do this review just because I'm not like a super comic book superhero movie fan. But, you know, I'll try my best to give you guys as good a review as I can. I have looked into, you know, critiques online, and I've spoken to a few friends that are really into them. And so I've kind of gotten a pretty good idea of kind of what the feedback is for those movies. I really liked it. I thought it was action-packed. It's bigger and better than all the other ones. The characters, there's so many characters in here, it's like overwhelming and my head hurts just thinking about it. But I think that's what makes it great, and that's what makes it so action-filled. And you know, I think that the Russo brothers actually did a really good job in balancing all these characters, and sort of giving each of them a fair go on screen, as you could say. You have to give kudos to them. I don't know, but what do you think?
Yeah, like in the first Avengers film, I found it really difficult to like relate to any of the characters because they're shown on in like by themselves for like a minute at a time. But in this one, they seem to have like grouped them all together and given them separate like story arcs. And I think it just works like that. It's more of the relationship rather than each single.
Absolutely. Well, one of the positive reviews the constant positive reviews that I saw online was that the interactions between these new characters that hadn't previously interacted before, and how they make it work, and it's actually comedy. It's almost like comedic relief because it is sort of a kind of dark theme, you know. And so it's like really effective, and it's quite funny to see those characters interact. And so you got to give kudos to the Russo brothers because it's like so many to handle, and they've actually done it quite well. Now, one of the critiques, I guess, from that was also that, you know, because these characters are coming from all these different places, and now they're all coming under the control of one group of writers, one group of directors, sometimes the characters can do things that are a little bit out of character. I don't know if you agree with this. This is like really constant review that I heard, that sometimes you just like taken back a little bit because they do something that they wouldn't necessarily do if they were in their own franchise movie.
I feel like they rewrote Eric Banner's character, the guy who plays the Hulk.
Yep.
Because leading up to like Thor Ragnarok and now into Avengers, he was like very in control of who he was, very aggressive. But then without any backstory, he kind of just turns into a huge baby. And that was really off-putting, so I totally agree with you.
Yeah. So that was one of the like little critiques, but I think generally overall fans are really satisfied with this film. There's you know, a lot of shocking, you know, a lot of fans were, I won't say
no spoilers.
I won't say any spoilers, but you know, there's shocking elements that you sort of don't expect.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Yeah. So I think that's always good because you don't want to be going to a movie knowing what's going to happen and it happens, you know. So that's always positive. So I think people will be satisfied, and I definitely recommend people going and seeing it on the big screen. I think it's worth it. You know, visually it's quite impressive. The CGI is awesome. So yeah, if you are thinking about it, I mean, the big fans probably have already gone and seen it, seeing as it came out a few weeks ago. But you know, the people that are like you, holding back or waiting for the holidays or not sure, I definitely would recommend it. Now moving on to Deadpool from that. Deadpool actually has is already more successul than Infinity War.
That's crazy.
So it's made, I think this was like a few days ago that I saw this 783.1 million, but now it's
it's like something it's like $2.8 million
already. It's crazy.
Already, and it came out last week.
Yeah, it's his like baby project, Ryan Reynolds' baby project that he was like
working on for like 11 years.
Yeah, and it ever since he did the really awful Ryan Reynolds. No, did you see Ryan Reynolds in X-Men? Was it X-Men? No, was it X-Men Origins? It was Days of Future Past or something like that. I can't remember. And Ryan Reynolds plays this awful version of Deadpool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then he comes out with the really good one like 5 to 10 years later.
Well, yeah, I mean, fans loved the first movie, and I think that's why this one was so anticipated because, you know, there was big expectations, and I think fans were satisfied. Some people say that the first one was better, others say the second one. I personally actually liked the second one better. I thought it was a whole new level of funny and action, and the plot was better. You don't agree with me?
I haven't seen it. I haven't even watched any previews because I want it to be fresh, but like I can agree why people didn't really like the first one because, like, I'm a reader of his comics and all that sort of stuff. I'm just hoping that the second one...
You didn't like the first one?
Well, I think you said earlier that it didn't really go... The portrayal of Deadpool in the movies isn't quite what he is in the comics.
It's hard to do out of context of a comic book. It's easier to do that when it comes to just drawing pictures.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like live action films, it's quite difficult. So I can understand it as two separate entities.
Yeah, it is for sure. It's very different, and there's a lot of comedy and a lot of the breaking of the fourth wall, which is like really weird. Like you don't usually, you're not used to seeing the main character talk to you as an audience.
Is that more than the first
So
film?
it actually is a little bit more, I think, just not too much. But that was one of the critiques actually that people said that it was too much, and so it kind of takes you out of the movie. For me, I think it's in character, and I just think it's so funny.
Because that's like the comic book exactly.
Okay.
Like, there's comic books where he's almost never in the story, and he's kind of describing it to the readers. Like,
okay.
If they've put more fourth wall breaking in it, like you can't really go wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did that, and he made made references to other Marvel movies, and and to I think Ryan Reynolds as well at some stage. Like it's so weird to like see that, and I sit there in the movies and like see that because it's so unusual. But I think it works, and I think it's almost refreshing to see something so different, and for not only for a superhero movie, but just for a film in general. So I mean, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. The new characters that come in are super strong, acted really well. Their sense of humor and their interactions with one another are really great and just hilarious. And I think with this movie, the main thing is expect the unexpected. Everything that you think is going to happen doesn't happen, and it's amazing. And then you're just so satisfied at the end. One thing I will say is stay till the end credits. Because there's like little surprises in it. It's like
I love knowing that there's something at the end because otherwise people just get up and leave.
It's like I saw that joke on Facebook the other day. It's like people who are new to Marvel films get confused when people don't leave the cinemas when the movie's finished.
Yeah, because
they know
always stuff. And this is like my favorite end credit scenes ever. Like everything that you want to happen, it's like it's just like you leave like just so happy. It's literally everything. Like your life is complete. I loved it. It's amazing.
Perfect.
Thanks for that, Paula.
You're welcome.
You've made me more excited to go and see these movies now. So
first
thing on the list.
Holidays.
Yes. Well, coming up on the holidays as well, we have some of our university athletes heading off to the Unisport Nationals. Now, the Unisport Nationals provide the opportunity for students from 42 member universities across Australia to compete head-to-head in a number of national standard sporting competitions. The Unisport Nationals Div 1 and Div 2 events see more than 10,000 student athletes head to the Gold Coast throughout the year to compete in 47 different sporting competitions. The Nationals Div 1 event will see the top 10 universities come together to compete against the best of the best to gain or retain their championship glory. we have the lovely Ali from the women's basketball team joining us in the studio. Welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us a bit about the women's basketball team at Latrobe.
So we've just completely remade the women's basketball team this year from last year. We have so much more talent come through this year. They're all so tall as well. We're so excited to take them to nationals this year. We have a squad of 10 to 12 girls representing Latrobe in the Div 2 Nationals, and I have very high hopes for these girls.
Beautiful.
They're so talented.
Where did you guys place last year?
Last year we placed second last in what previously was AUGs. So this year they've rebranded it from Uni Games to Uni Nationals. They're focusing a lot more on the sport, and it's going to be very intense this year at Div 2.
Are you excited that that change has come through and that it's a more serious sporting competition?
I'm super excited about it. Everyone in the basketball has just gotten so on board with changing it from what previously was Uni Games to now it being Uni Nationals. All the girls are so excited to just go out there and represent Latrobe, and they're going to be so amazing. I'm so excited to watch them.
Oh, it'd be really good to see how you guys go. What has training looked like for the basketball team this year?
So we had a really, really good trial series this year. We had 3 trials. The first 2 were open tryouts, and then the last one was an invitation only. The talent that got presented to us at tryouts was amazing. I've been representing Latrobe basketball this is the 3rd year now, and this is the most talented squad we've had representing Latrobe.
That's really exciting to hear. And the men's basketball team, will they be going to Div 2 with you guys in July, or will they be heading in Div 1?
They're going to Div 1 this year.
Exciting.
In contention for medals again, I'm assuming.
Yep. I think last year they just missed out on the bronze medal, was it?
Yeah, they were in the bronze medal match and lost that one, unfortunately. So they're very, very eager to get back there this year.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be good to see them hopefully get that medal, and you guys as well. Hearing that we've got such a strong basketball squad going will be really good. How long have you played basketball for?
I've been playing basketball domestically since I was about 5. Rep, I've played for about, I reckon, 6 years all up. I took 5 years off rep and have gone back this year to play in the Div 2 women's team at Coburg.
Beautiful. And what do you love about basketball? What's attracted you to the sport?
I'm a very competitive person. So, yeah, just the competitiveness and, like, the friendships you make through basketball, whether it is rep, domestic, or even uni games. Some of the friends that I made through uni games and uni nationals, they're going to last forever. Yeah.
And is that something that is really prominent in the team this year? Is there a big do you guys all really get along and have a really good friendship, or is it more of just a sporting, like, camaraderie in the team?
Even through the tryouts, the girls just get along so well. A lot of them have played together previously. So we're just clicking so well this year. It's going to be a really close team.
Oh, that's really good to hear. I'm looking forward. So you guys head off in July.
Yeah.
I hope we'll have to see if we can get some access to footage of you guys and see if we can get some live crosses to you guys playing. We had a bit of footage of you guys playing before you came on. But if people want to find out a bit more about Uni Nationals, they can head to the Latrobe Sport Facebook page. Do you guys have a women's basketball, Facebook page or something where you can find a bit more information about you guys? How can people get in touch with the basketball team?
The easiest way to do that would be to go through Latrobe Sport, and they'll put you onto somebody who can help you out more.
Beautiful. Thanks for coming into the studio to have a
Anytime.
chat with us. Good luck.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to hearing about how you guys go.
Thanks.
So we have had a great show today. There is a lot going on in the university. As we had Abood tell us, we've got the Stress Less Week happening in the Agora. We're going to do a bit of a cross to some of the stuff that's happening out there in a moment. What are you looking forward to? Are you going to head down to yoga tomorrow morning?
I really don't think I'm flexible enough.
I guess you can just try and do some of those movements.
Just hop in one spot while everyone's flexing.
While everyone else is doing like downward dog and fantastic. We are going to cross over to the girls. I believe we have Paula doing some crosses for us.
Yeah, I think they're discussing stress less week.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, thanks guys. We're here with a student from La Trobe University. Are you stressed right now?
Yes, I am.
Do you know that there is an event happening this week? It's called Stress Less Week, and they're just running like yoga classes and barbecues to try and reduce stress of students. What do you think about this?
No, I had no idea that it was happening, but yeah, I think it's a good idea for most students. Not like I wouldn't try to do yoga because I'm not that flexible, but barbecue sounds like a good idea.
Do you have any sort of tips and tricks on how to reduce stress during this time? What do you usually do to kind of not like relax, I guess, a little bit during this exam period?
I think the thing with stress is don't let it take over your life. So, don't just focus on it. Be yourself and try to enjoy yourself. Like, uni is temporary. You got to push through it sometimes, but at the end of the day, stress is temporary, but you got to be yourself, push through it, and just be comfortable, be happy.
Awesome, good advice. Well, thank you so much. All right, let's go and try and find someone else to talk to. Thanks, guys. All right, let's get around here, see who's studying. Oh, here's a person. Excuse me, hi. Are you able to answer some questions for us? Oh, yeah. Okay, awesome, I'll just sit here. All right, what's your name?
I'm Katja.
Cool. Are you stressed right now?
Yes.
Do you know that it's Stress Less Week this week?
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
What do you think about it? Do you think it's a good idea?
I think it might be the wrong time to do it because I don't really have time to take off and do a stressless week. So maybe they should do workshops and stuff instead where you could go and sit and do your shit together instead. But
cool. Do you have any sort of trips? What's the word? Hacks and tips on how to sort of stay relaxed and reduce stress during this time?
Well, usually I just like to take a 15-minute break once in a while and just do something completely different. But yeah, otherwise just get your assignments done and you'll probably be stress-free.
Good tip as well. All right, thanks, Katja. Back to you guys in the studio.
That was a really good point that she made about having workshops that people can come in and sit and work together. Yeah. I mean, as amazing as the work that the Student Union is doing with all the activities and workshops and events they're providing this week, I guess what she said about, you want to stress less and you want to have some time out, but going to, yoga in the morning might not be too bad, but the stuff that's happening in the afternoon and throughout the day might be a bit harder because you'll be there enjoying yourself, but you might be in the back of your head, you'll be like, oh my God, I've got that assignment to do.
Always eating at you.
Yeah, so it is a bit of a tricky one. I mean, forcing yourself to take that time out, I guess, is what the union wants us to do, and is why they put on these events. But it would be tricky for students to take that time away from their studies when they're wanting to, do well and make sure they're getting good marks. Unfortunately, though, that is all we have time for today. Remember, LTYou is an open discussion and we'd love to hear your opinions and your thoughts. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. Our handle is LTYou Radio. That's LTYou Radio. And we'd love to hear your opinions and what you'd love us to talk about so we can go out and create some stories that are really interesting for you. Thanks for tuning in and we look forward to seeing you next time. We'll see you for lunch on Tuesday.